Hey guys, I wanted to film a video talking about a very serious topic, and I know it's not going to be monetized because there's only been 2 of my videos that have been demonetized or unmonetized or whatever because the implementation of YouTube's new terms of service with monetization and ad revenue or whatever, and it was the 2 videos I've talked about suicide on my channel. And today is National Suicide Awareness Month, September 1st. So, with that being said, the fact that I don't make any money off of YouTube, but maybe like 3 cents in like a month, but right now I'm not making any money, so I don't really care. You don't want to have ad revenue because I talk about suicide awareness and want to bring awareness to a very serious topic, then that's fine, YouTube. I'm gonna make a video about it anyways. You're not gonna silence me on that. You're not gonna make me scared. You're not gonna silence me on something that I'm so passionate, so serious about. So, with that being said, I just wanted to give a little bit of facts about suicide. I'm getting this information from Save Suicide Awareness, Voices of Education. Let's see. Sorry, it's taking a little bit for my computer. I thought that they updated their website since I've last been to it. So, these are just statistics in the United States about suicide. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States for all ages. Every day, approximately 105 Americans die by suicide. Only half of all Americans experiencing an episode of major depression receive treatment. 80 to 90% of people that seek treatment for depression are treated successfully using therapy and medication, or medication. An estimated 250,000 people each year become suicide survivors. There is 1 suicide for every estimated 25 suicide attempts. There is only 1 suicide every estimated 4 suicide attempts in the elderly. Suicide takes the lives of over 38,000 Americans every year. Depression affects only 20 to 25% of Americans ages 18 and up in a given year. The highest suicide rates in the United States are among the whites, American Indians, and Alaska Natives. Global statistics. There is 1 death by suicide in the world every single 40 seconds. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death in the world for those ages 15 to 44. Depression is the leading cause of a disability worldwide. And this is gender. Suicide among males is 4 times higher than among females. Male deaths represent 79% of all suicides. Firearms is the most commonly used method of suicide among males, 51%. Females are more likely than males to have suicidal thoughts or to attempt. Females experience depression at roughly 2 times the rate of men. Females attempt suicide 3 times as more often. Sorry, my computer's saying, well, my phone, the alarm went off. For some reason I had it set. Females attempt suicide 3 times as often as males, and poisoning is the most common method of suicide for females. Ages. Suicide is the 4th leading cause of death for adults ages 18 to 65. The highest increase in suicide is males 50 plus 30 per 100,000. 1 in 100,000 children ages 10 to 14 died by suicide each year. 7 in 100,000 youth ages 15 to 19 by suicide each year. The prevalence of suicide thoughts, suicidal planning, and suicide attempts is significantly higher among adults ages 18 to 29 than adults over 30. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-old Americans. Suicide rates among the elderly are the highest for those who are divorced or widowed. Suicide rates for males are highest among those ages 75 and up. Suicide rates are highest among those who are ages 45 to 54. And those are just a few statistics about suicide. And if you go to Save Suicide Awareness, Voices of Education, you can do fundraising, you can connect with them, you can donate, you can volunteer, you can start an event or join an event. And also there is the National Association of Suicide. It is giving all the information, suicidology, sorry. And then there's AFSP, which is American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and you can find support, take action, you can donate. There's information about suicide, their work and what they do, and also news on suicide and awareness and everything that they're doing. So September, like I said, is National Suicide Awareness Month. September 10th is Suicide Awareness Day. And September 5th through the 11th is Suicide Awareness Week. So, what I encourage you to do during the day at the very least, if not through the whole month, just to kind of get people asking about it and wondering about it, you can wear a yellow ribbon. The yellow ribbon is suicide prevention. I know that it also stands for many other illnesses, sicknesses, diseases, everything like that, but it also stands for suicide awareness. So there's that. Just because you may not have experienced someone committing suicide in your family, here are a few people that actually have committed suicide. Kurt Cobain from the band Nirvana. I don't know why I keep saying Nirvana. Ernest Hemingway, the very famous author, he committed suicide. Robin Williams actually took his own life in, I think, 2014. And a YouTuber actually took his life, or attempted, and then later on passed away in the hospital due to a suicide attempt. So basically took his life by suicide, and his name was Daniel. Suicide is such a it's such a touchy topic. It's such a taboo topic almost. People think that people who commit suicide are selfish and greedy, and they don't care about anyone but themselves, and they just are just the worst people ever, basically, and they think they're going to hell, and there's no redemption for them, and they leave their family in the dust, and that's the end of it. And that's not the case. There's several reasons why people commit suicide. People commit suicide for revenge. Like, if a wife cheated on a husband might shoot himself on the front porch and make the wife find the body, and that is revenge. A person might commit suicide because they are transgender and they're being bullied, or someone just is not transgender or not part of the LGBT community, and they're just being bullied. They're being cyberbullied with like Amanda Todd. She was a 15-year-old that committed suicide because a person was cyberbullying her on the internet, and she made a YouTube video, and I believe you can still find it on YouTube, just not on her actual channel. She made a video about it and how people were bullying her, and the YouTube comments on any of those videos about Amanda Todd are disgusting. They're saying how she should have drank bleach, how it's a good thing that she died, and she should have done it faster, and I'm glad she died, and she should have killed herself in the first place, blah, 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 and just very disgusting, mean, gross things to people that you don't even know. Like, nobody knew her. And her mom, her dad, her grandparents, her friends, if she had any siblings, her cousins, her dog, all those people are now affected by that. And in a family, when someone commits suicide in their family, that then makes the immediate family members 300 times more likely to attempt or commit suicide. So it is a direct impact on all people around you, even her teachers, students that may not even have liked her, or just people that she knew on the streets. Whenever someone takes their life, it really affects everybody. And it's just a rippling effect, and it can cause people to be depressed after someone commits suicide. It can cause more people to attempt or to self-cut or self-harm, or to get into drugs to numb the pain, or go to drinking and be addicted to things. And it's just a very crippling issue that nobody seems to really talk about. And the people that do talk about it are criticized or thought to just be doing it for some fake reason, or nobody really has an answer or a solution, and there's really not much of an answer. There's a few studies that suggest that if you take guns out of homes, it's a lot less likely that people will commit suicide. There's examples where a woman is walking down a bridge in college. She's walking back to her dorms, and she jumps off the bridge. Within 10 minutes, she believes that she needs to take her life, so she does it. Now, in an alternate universe, the bridge is blocked to where you can't jump off of it. And so the girl that is thinking of suicide, all of a sudden she thinks, oh, I'm going to jump off this bridge, and she can't get over the bridge. That could save her life. So there's preventative ways, there's therapy, there's support from family and friends. There's all kinds of things that we can do to prevent it, but I don't think that suicide will ever not be a thing, sadly. I personally have a very strong connection to suicide because my dad took his life. I was the person that found his body. My dad hung himself November 30th, 2009. So 7 years ago, today, on September 1st, I did not know about Suicide Prevention Month. I had no... It's not that I didn't have a recollection of suicide. I didn't know about it, but I just didn't really care. It didn't affect me in any way. I never knew anybody that took their lives, so I just didn't care. Just like many of you. You probably have never thought about it. You've never thought about helping people or putting awareness out there. You probably just didn't care, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not your fault. But a few months later, my dad killed himself, and I found him, and it really messed me up for a long time. And I'm still having issues to this day because of it nearly 7 years later. It'll be 7 years, November 30th, 2016, since I've seen my dad, since I've hugged him, since I have held his hand, since he's told me he loved him, since I've heard his voice. I've now forgot his voice. All because of suicide. Society deems it to be some monstrous thing that is just the worst thing you could do, and to some that is true. It could be a very selfish act, and I don't see it that way. My dad was going through probably the worst thing, the most mentally agonizing, desperate feeling that night that any of us could possibly imagine that night that he took his life. And I couldn't even imagine going through what he felt. And people say that people who commit suicide are weak. Now, this is a bad way to look at it, but it's true. If someone has the strength to not only build a noose, to tie the noose together, put the noose on the ceiling fan, to put the noose around your neck, and then to drop and let yourself suffocate to death, which takes approximately 20 minutes for your body to fully shut down. Within 6 minutes, your brain will stop functioning, so I'm hoping that by at least, at the very longest, it would take 6 minutes for someone to not feel anything anymore. But that is a very hard thing to do, and I think you would have a lot of strength to have to do that to yourself. And to have that type of strength, you must be going through hell in your mind. And mental illness makes you go through hell. It makes you feel worthless and like you don't matter and like you are disgusting and nobody cared about you. My dad truly at that moment thought nobody would care. When someone commits suicide, it is because they think, even if they have all the friends in the world, all the money, all the happiness, that they believe we would be better off without them, that they are hindering us from happiness, that they are hurting us by existing, by living, and also their internal pain. Because people think that mental illness, because you can't see it, it's not real, it's not serious, it's not something as serious as getting your limb cut off. But it is. It's there, and it's very serious, and it's something that we need to talk about, and we need to focus our attention on and enlighten it and help people. But we're not. Suicide is such an important topic. And also, not only did my dad commit suicide, but my dad, when he died, I moved in with my aunt and uncle, and her husband in 2014, June of 2014, shot himself in his apartment. He had a studio apartment. My aunt and uncle split, and my uncle's daughter, her boyfriend, and I believe his oldest daughter and other daughter and a few other people had to go into his studio apartment and had to scrub, cut up, and wash off the brain matter and the blood from the carpets, from the ceiling, from the TV stand, and they found brain matter in places that they never thought they would have found. It's a very disturbing scene if you ever have to see it, if you ever have to be around it. Now, when my dad committed suicide and I found him, I have not been back in the house since the day he died. November 30th, I have not been back in that house since then. Whenever we needed to get all our stuff out, because I was moving in with my aunt and uncle, I did not step foot in that place. The town I live in is Broadway. One of the main roads is Broadway. My dad's house is on Broadway, and my uncle's house is also, his apartment duplex, his studio apartment, was also on Broadway. So every time I go to my hometown, I have to remember what I lost due to suicide. Every time I drive down to Broadway, because I see my dad's house, I see the house that I grew up in since I was 9 years old. I see the good memories and obviously the worst memory of my life, and it affects you more than you will ever know. And so when I made the Leave He's Here video, it wasn't for attention, it wasn't for me feeling sorry for myself, or when I comment and report people that comment kill yourself, even to me, or even if it's two people like Leave He's Here, kill yourself, I will report it. I don't care who makes it to who, because I don't think that anybody should ever encourage someone to take their lives. I don't care if we disagree with something, if we have completely two different backgrounds, if we have different thoughts and opinions. You don't need to tell someone that. Every single 40 seconds, someone is killing themselves. So by the time this video is over, all around the world, so many people are going to be dead by suicide. And someone has to find that person. And someone has to pay for that funeral. And someone has to go through life without that person. And it's a very serious, serious topic. And I don't understand why people are not understanding that it's not okay to say that to someone. And I don't understand why society is trying to stigmatize it as some filth, some disease, some contractable disease. Like, if you talk about it, you're gonna do it. And I just wanted to talk about that. And I also want to tell you that if you are considering suicide, if you are thinking about it, if you have thought about it, if you are contemplating whether you are worth something, you are. I don't care what you think. You need to understand that you are going through something because of something in your brain that you necessarily can't control. Even if you think that your life is worthless and that your family would be better off without you, I want to tell you from someone that lost their dad due to suicide, my life has not been better because my dad is not here. My life has never been better from him taking his life. It's not an answer. Suicide, and I love this quote, and I know a lot of people do not like it, and whenever they, there's TED Talks about it and how it's wrong. Phil Donahue quoted, "Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem," and I full-heartedly believe that. It may be a temporarily financial problem, a physical debilitating problem, a mental problem, but those things are temporary. Your body is also temporary. You get one life, and do not let those cyberbullies, do not let your abusive mom, your rapist, people that are discriminating against you because you are gay or you're transgender, do not give them the satisfaction of you taking your life. This is your one and only chance. So don't take it away because people are being mean to you, because that means they win. And you deserve so much better than that. And I think that you deserve love and compassion. And I can say this by experience. My life has not been the greatest, but I tried to commit suicide when I was 10 years old. I tied a tie around my neck and was going to hang myself in my grandma's backyard. But if I had done that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have impacted as many people as I have by my story, by my compassion with this such an important topic. I wouldn't be able to insight you on this. So just know that whatever you're going through, you're going to get through it. It may be the worst hell ever. You may be starving. You may not have parents that love you. You may not have any friends. You may go home crying every night because someone calls you fat at school. You may feel like you're not good enough. You may have anorexia, or you may be a lesbian and too scared to tell your family because they're conservative Catholics. You may have someone in your community lying about you. You may be broke and don't know how you're going to pay for bills, or you don't know how you're going to take care of your kids. But the one thing that's not going to fix any of those problems is suicide. All that it's going to do is put that problem on your close family members or your friends or anybody else, and it's also going to leave the deep and dark question for your family and friends that you leave behind, and that's why. It's going to make those people wonder, is it my fault? Did I say something? Did I do something? Could I have prevented it? And if you don't do it if you don't commit suicide because of yourself, at least don't do it for someone else. Don't do it because you have a dog and your dog needs you. If you don't have any family, your dog needs you, your fish needs you, those plants need you to water them. You impact so many lives more than you will ever think. And I just really think that you are worth it more than you know. And I just wanted to say that and make this video. And I know YouTube is going to be mad about it, but I don't care, because even if it touches one person, or if it gets through to one person, or if it saves one person, that's literally what I want to do with my life, is to at least save one person from suicide. Even if you have never thought about suicide or attempted it or wanted to do it or have anybody, just at least if you get anything from this video, I suggest you to go on to SAVE or American Suicide Association, or just type in suicide prevention awareness, facts, information, ways to help, and get involved. Do something in your community, do something in your school, do something with your family. Tell people about it. Talk about it. That's one of the only ways I truly think we will ever be able to fix it, is if we talk about it. And just get the stigma out. Who cares? Why is it such a stigmatizing and such a dirty word to talk about it? Why is it so wrong to talk about something that happens to so many people? You will be so surprised at the amount of people that have lost somebody due to suicide, whether it's a friend, a family member, a teacher, a coworker. It happens and it impacts. It's like a bomb. Whenever it hits the initial point, the most people that are closest to that bomb are going to be hurt the most. But then there's the fragments, and then there's the smoke, and just, it's a very disgusting thing that just attacks and hurts everybody in it. And I just think that we really should focus on trying to prevent it and talk about it and making people feel comfortable and like they deserve to live, because I don't think anybody has the right to tell someone they don't deserve to live. Every single person deserves to live. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you're going through, you deserve life. Do not take that away from yourself, because whatever you're going through now, you will get through it. I promise you. You will get over it. You will get through it. You will find your way out of that situation, and you will be so happy that you didn't take your life based off of a short period of time in your life that is just on an eternal string. Your life is so small on earth, and I just don't end that small. It's already small enough. Don't end it more than it already is. You deserve so much more. You can impact so many people's lives. Just know that whenever you go through something, you don't know if you could save someone's life, and you can talk to them and go through your experiences and help them, and that may ultimately help you heal. And you never could do that if you had taken your own life. So I just can't stress the importance of awareness, talking about it, and getting the word out. So that's all I wanted to say. And if you want to talk about suicide awareness, or if you have any questions or any clarifications that you want to know, or if you want to talk to me about yourself and wanting to commit suicide, and you don't want to go to any of the suicide hotlines, or which there is hotlines, and there's the suicide prevention number. I don't have it off the top of my head. Let me get it really quick. The national hotline number is 1-800-273-8255, and it is confidential. And there's also an online chat, and if you don't feel comfortable talking on the phone, you can go online and go to that chat, and they will help you, and they will talk you through whatever you need to get through, and they can give you advice or ways to cope with whatever you're going through, or to even find you help, because that's the key. When you're feeling that way, don't act impulsively. Get help, because it's a very small point in your life that you're thinking about that. So get the help before it's too late. Like my dad. And I know sometimes people get help and it doesn't work. But I promise you, most of the time, if you get help and you get your mental illness under control, or your situation, it will help you, and you won't feel that alone, or sad or mad or hurt anymore. There's social workers or counselors or psychologists, or so many people that are there. Their job and profession is to help you. So let someone help you, even if that means just talking to a friend, or a coworker, or a school counselor, or a teacher, or someone you trust, just talking through those feelings and not ignoring them until it builds up and then it crushes you. I can't stress that enough. But if you have any questions or any information that you want, or anything like that, I will try to link as many things about suicide as I can down below, or also any of the places that you can donate money to for like depression and all those, and I will link the suicide online thing, and all of the like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and SAVE and all those websites. So if you want to know any more extensive things, or you could do your own research, and I highly encourage you to, and then to tell someone about it, and to wear the yellow ribbon September 10th for sure, because it's the Suicide Awareness Day, or the 5th through the 11th, which is the week, or you could wear it all month. Wear a yellow, even if it's just a yellow bow in your hair, or the ribbon on your shirt, or a yellow shirt, or a yellow tank top, or yellow shoes, or a yellow bracelet. You can make your own bracelet. That way, and you can talk to people about it, and tell people about it, and get your school involved, and maybe see if your school can all wear yellow one day, just to do something to show that people who are suicide victims, suicide survivors, people who have attempted, people who are contemplating whether they should do it or not, just so they know that we care. And we want to help you, but you have to ask for help. We don't know if you're suffering or not if you don't ask. So that's basically all for today. It's a pretty long video. I don't think I'm going to edit very much, just kind of like where I stumbled on words or whatever, but I just hope this at least helps one person, or if not helps someone get through something, at least intrigues someone to do research or to support the cause. because it's a very big one. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to upload. I was going to do something a little bit lighthearted, but I decided to do this because I felt it was important to talk about. And I know I rambled and I said a lot of the same things repeatedly, but it's something important to me, and I hope it shows, and I hope that you learned something and are going to basically participate in this month. And I just thank you for watching, and just know that you're not alone, and that you are worth something. You are worth everything. You are worth your life. And that's all. So thank you, and I love you and care about you. And if you need to talk, then you can comment or privately message me or find me on Twitter or Instagram and DM me. Get a hold of me any way you can, and I will talk to you. I will talk you through whatever you're going through, because I've done that a few times, and it feels nice to know that I've saved someone and that I can make a difference, even by talking to you and making you feel better or comfortable. And I just encourage you guys to do the same things, to be open-armed for people that are hurting, because you don't know people's personal daily struggles, whether it's physical pain or embarrassed that they're a lesbian or a gay person because their family is disgusted by it, or even if they have postpartum depression, or if they have a mental illness, or if they're being made fun of at school or online. All of those things, or financially struggling, anything can affect you and make you feel like you should take your own life, but you should never do it. It's never the answer, and that's all I wanted to say. So just take care of yourself and love yourself no matter what you're going through, because I promise you, you'll get through it, and that's all I have to say. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.